Children, to yet another session of chapter number 13, that is why do we fall ill. So in our previous session we studied about infectious diseases and infectious agents of these diseases. We also learnt about different categories of infectious agents and specificity of antibiotics to work against bacteria only. In today's session, we will study about different means of spread of various diseases, communicable or infectious diseases. We will also focus on airborne diseases, waterborne diseases, and sexually transmitted diseases, etc. So let us begin with the means of spread. Means how many types are there through which a disease can spread. So, before understanding this, I would like to ask you one question, that is, how do infectious diseases spread? Nowadays, we all are facing a serious problem of COVID infection. So, what we are doing to take precaution as a precaution to protect ourselves from this infection? Yes, we are not going outside, we are washing our hands again and again. These are the ways through which we are checking further infection of the disease, or we are checking the spread of disease. So many microbial agents can commonly move from infected person to uninfected healthy person in many ways. These ways can be by air, through water, through food, or by sharing the utensils or belongings of the infected person, etc. And so they are called communicable diseases or infectious diseases because they spread from one person to another person very fast. There is another mode of transmission of these diseases, and this mode is through air. Disease causing microbes can spread through the little droplets which are thrown out by an infected person in the form of coughing or sneezing into the air. If suppose a healthy person is standing just close or nearby to that infected person, and if that person is breathing in the same air, that droplets which came out from the infected person will enter into the respiratory system of a healthy person, and the microbe will again get the entry to start a new cycle of infection in a healthy person. This is how spread of these microbes takes place through air. The examples of such mode of spread of diseases is common cold, pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. In this diagram, you can see there is one side a person which is shown as blue colored person is having lung infection, and basically it is showing a patient who is having TB infection or tuberculosis infection. Tuberculosis is a bacterial infection, and in this infection one of the symptom is coughing with a sputum. And if such person coughs out or sneezes out in the air, and if a healthy person is standing just nearby this infected TB patient, and if he is inhaling the air and through air that infectious agent of tuberculosis, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria, is entering into the healthy person, that healthy person will also get infected by MTB, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So that is how one infected person is spreading the disease through air. Here there are few more examples of different types of diseases which is spread through air. These are diphtheria, tuberculosis, whooping cough, pneumonia, scarlet fever, influenza, poliomyelitis, cold, mumps, measles, chickenpox, smallpox, and systemic mycosis. Here this diagram is given in your textbook, that is just to show you that how that spread of infectious agent takes place from an infected person to a healthy person. Here you can see that there is different markings of distance. 2 meter, and 4 meter. And if this person who is shown as a black body here is infected, in that case small droplets evaporate to droplet nuclei in this zone where he has coughed. So this is the zone where he has coughed. So in this particular zone the infectious agents will be there. Now from this area some of the infectious agent will fall on the ground. So the large droplets settle to the ground and in few seconds only, and there are some droplets which will be carried out just away from this part through air. Here these are those droplets which are carried out through air, and these droplets will reach to this part after some more long duration, maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes or 6 minutes. So this is the immediate effect within 2 minutes, or at the time when the person has coughed or sneezed, that time only that infection will fall on the ground. And this is the after effect, that after some time, 4 minutes or 5 minutes, that infectious agent will spread here and there through air. So here let us go through the explanation of this diagram. Air transmitted diseases are easier to catch the closer we are to the infected person. However, in close areas, the droplet nuclei recirculate and pose a risk to everybody. Overcrowded and poorly ventilated housing is therefore a major factor in the spread of airborne diseases. Most of us had the experience of getting infected with common cold from someone who is already suffering from common cold. The more crowded our conditions are, the more likely it is that such cases will increase and we will get infected soon by these airborne diseases. And in such places, the areas which are overcrowded, where ventilation is not proper, in that condition the airborne disease will spread very fast. So here one side I have shown you the ways by which we can protect ourselves from these airborne infections, that is by wearing mask. We all are doing this nowadays. And the other side I have tried to show you that how the infected person's droplets are coming out in air, and which is creating a chances that the other person will also get infected with this infection which an infected person is releasing. Now there is another mean of spread of disease, that is by water. This occurs if the excreta from someone suffering from an infectious intestine related disease like cholera get mixed with the drinking water used by people living in nearby area. Cholera microbes enter new host through drinking water. Such type of diseases spread more in the absence of safe supplies of drinking water. So here I have a picture to show you that how there are chances that the infected person's excreta can go to the drinking water. You can see here in this picture that one person is releasing feces, and suppose if that person is infected with some intestinal infection, then the feces will also get the germs of that infection, and that feces will reach to the underground water level, and that same water, underground water, will be taken out by someone else and will be consumed by someone else as a drinking water. In that case the infection will spread. So that this is how waterborne diseases spread. And here I have a list of waterborne diseases. These are cholera, typhoid, shigellosis, amoebiasis, and food poisoning, diarrhea, other infectious diseases, and leptospirosis, hepatitis A, and helminthiasis. And these in this picture you can see that how the people are using dirty water for various purposes, and this increases the chances of waterborne diseases. Now the third type of spread of disease is sexually transmitted diseases. The sexual act is one of the closest physical contact between two people. There are microbial diseases like syphilis or AIDS that are transmitted through sexual contact. Such diseases are not spread by casual physical contact like handshake or hugs or sports or like wrestling or by any of the other ways in which we touch others socially. AIDS virus can also spread by other means like blood to blood, that is, if a healthy person is taking blood of an infected person, then the healthy person will also get infected by the virus of AIDS. So that is, this transfer of blood from one person to another person is called as blood transfusion. So through blood transfusion this AIDS virus can spread. And there is another condition in which this AIDS virus can also spread through blood, that is, if a pregnant lady is having AIDS, then in that case the baby who is developing in her womb will also get AIDS infection. Not only this, even after the birth of a baby, if infected mother is feeding her baby, then that baby will also get infection through feeding, breastfeeding. So here this is a diagram which is showing you that how these infections can spread from infected person to healthy person, that is by direct contact in some cases by air, in some cases by indirect contact, that is by sharing the belongings of the infected person. That belongings can be utensils or the cloth which the infected person has used. And the other way is by sharing the food of infected person, and the other way is by some vectors, that is vector-borne disease, which I will discuss now only. And in all these conditions the infected person can spread the disease into the healthy person. So let us now discuss about some of the common sexually transmitted disease. These are chlamydia, gonorrhea, genital herpes, genital warts, hepatitis B, HIV and AIDS, and pubic lice, syphilis and trichomoniasis. To focus on one thing here, that is HIV and AIDS are two different things. HIV is a virus, human immunodeficiency virus, which causes AIDS disease. And AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is the name of a disease which is caused by HIV virus. So these two are not same. One is the causative agent and the other one is the name of a disease. So causative agent here is a HIV and AIDS is the name of a disease. So here in this slide you can see that how HIV virus or AIDS disease can be transmitted and how it is not transmitted, but people are having myth about it. So this slide is to just clear out that myth. Now, transmission of diseases by other animals. Sometimes animals carry the infectious agent from a sick person to another healthy host. These animals are the intermediaries and are called vectors. These vectors are not affected or are not harmed by the infectious agent, but they help in spreading the disease from one host to another host. Example, common vectors we all know, that is mosquito. In many species of mosquitoes, the female need highly nutritious food in the form of blood of a host so that she can lay mature eggs. So the female needs more nutrition, so that female gets the nutrition from the blood of the host, that can be human being. So mosquitoes feed on many warm blooded animals including us. In this slide you can see the different types of diseases which are mosquito borne diseases. These are malaria, dengue, chikungunya, lymphatic filariasis, which is also known as elephantiasis, and Japanese encephalitis, and West Nile fever, yellow fever, Rift Valley fever. So there are different types of diseases which can be spread by these mosquitoes. So here mosquito act as a vector. So in this slide you can see some other vectors and vector-borne diseases. There is a chart of different diseases here which are vector-borne diseases. So the disease's name is malaria, which is very common, and causative agent of this disease is Plasmodium, which is a protozoan, and the vector is Anopheles mosquito, and the method of infection is by bite of the mosquito. The second major disease is a dengue fever, and causative agent is virus here, and the vector is Aedes mosquito, and again the method is same, that is by bite to the host. And the third type of disease is encephalitis, that is caused by a virus, and here again a mosquito is acting as a vector, which is a Culex mosquito, and this disease is spread by bite of mosquito. Now there is a different type of vector-borne disease which is known as African sleeping sickness disease. Why it is called a sleeping sickness? Because in this disease the patient sleep for many hours, and this disease is caused by Trypanosoma gambiense, and here the vector is CC fly, and again it spreads through the bite of CC fly or sand fly. The another type of disease is dysentery, and which this type of disease is also known as amoebic dysentery, and the causative agent in this disease is protozoan, and this disease is generally spread by housefly, and the method of infection is contamination of food. Very small children often suffer with dysenteric or amoebic dysentery. And the last disease which is mentioned here in this table is cholera, which is caused by Vibrio cholerae, and the vector which is involved in this disease is housefly, and it is spread by contamination of food. Children, now there are some questions for you. You have to write down the answers of these questions in your notebook. The first question is, what are different modes of transmission of diseases? Second question is, give examples of airborne diseases. And the third question is, how the diseases can be spread through water? Explain. And the next question is, name few sexually transmitted diseases. And the last question is, what is the role of vectors in vector-borne diseases? Thank you.